Hi, we are here on Haight Street in San Francisco at Magnolia Gastropub and Brewery, and we are at their 8th annual Oyster and Beer Extravaganza, and you actually brew your beer with oysters in it.
That's right. It's somewhat of an esoteric style, oyster stout, but we use Hog Island oysters, local, raised up in Marin County, and we use about 6 bushels in a 7-barrel batch, and it's a nice dry stout, a little bit of roast character, kind of pairs well with the brininess of the oysters, and we've been making it for 10 or 12 years. It's one of our favorite beers to brew.
It's really amazing. So basically you bring in oysters from all over the country?
Yeah, the raw oysters are a little cross-section of different species and varieties to kind of give people, we have some locals like Kumamoto's and Marin Miyagi's, both from Marin County, and then Olympia's from up in BC, Bellone from Maine, it's kind of a flat oyster, and then also Blue Points.
Very nice. And then you do some specialty dishes as well with, as you're a part of the menu. What do you got here?
Yeah, so the whole thing is really just a day of celebrating one of the beer world's most perfect pairings, right? Beer and oyster just go really well together.
They really actually do.
We have oyster beers. We found 3 other oyster beers from some of our friends. Then we have all the raw oysters. We also just go crazy and make a bunch of special dishes too. So we have Oysters Rockefeller. We have one of my favorite English pub traditional snack items is Angels on Horseback, which is a deep-fried oyster wrapped in bacon.
Yeah, the bacon. You cannot go wrong with that.
We have a po' boy on as well, and an oyster chowder. So it's really just an ode to oysters and beer.
And you guys are famous for your sauces. You do amazing sauces, right? Yeah. I believe that they're famous.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
So let's take a little look here at what beers we have that are brewed. So this is the...
That's ours. That's the Oysterhead Stout from Magnolia. Yeah.
This is really nice.
It's probably of the 4, the one with the most roast character. A little bit of astringency.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah.
It's got a nice round out flavor though. It's not heavy in one area. It's
yeah.
Nice, smooth.
I think it fades away at the end in a nice way that allows it doesn't step on the delicate flavors of the oysters if you're actually drinking it with oysters.
I agree with that. Okay,
that is Hen House. Hen House up in Petaluma.
Another nice local beer for San Francisco Beer Week.
That's right. Actually, all these are local. All 4.
This is really nice. So this is a lot more acidic flavor.
A little bit more acidity. Seems like maybe a little more brininess coming through from the oysters. Yeah. Possibly because there's probably a little less roast malt, like the really dark malt character in there, so it allows the oyster brininess to come through, it seems.
And some of these beers are featured in are these specifically like a collaboration beer with you, or are they featured in other areas around?
Yeah, these are all, these breweries, personal expressions of this kind of, like I said, esoteric tradition of oyster stouts. They all, as far as I know, all use local oysters. At least Hog Island is in at least 3 of these in the 21st Amendment, the Hen House and ours. And then the Woods Brewing, that's this next one.
Yeah.
That's kind of a little collaboration they did with their neighbors on Polk Street at one of their locations, Swan Oyster Depot, the legendary Swan Oyster Depot.
And this is really nice. I think it's really a little bit softer.
It is, yeah. And I think they might just be using the shells, whereas we use the whole oysters. And the shells add a minerality and change the water chemistry.
You can tell he changed that.
Yeah, right.
Maybe that's where the softness comes in.
Yeah.
The water.
I think that's true.
And then last but not least is the 21st Amendment.
It's called Marooned on Hog Island. And it's a little bit of a bigger beer, so that's 7.9% ABV. These others are down in the 5 to 6 range.
Okay.
And so it's a little bit stronger. Not a lot, but just gives a little bit more structure and kind of complexity. So.
You can taste the oysters.
Yeah.
Definitely taste the oysters in that one. If you love oysters and beer, then that's a great taste. Well, this has been wonderful. I think if you are in the San Francisco area today, you need to get down here because this is not to be missed. I don't think this is something that you're going to find very many places ever. So
it's become a tradition every Strong Beer Month. It's one of our favorite events. It is possibly my favorite event to do every year just because I love oysters so much.
Well, it's really great. We really appreciate you taking the time with us today. We're going to eat. We're going to eat and drink.
Yeah, enjoy. Cheers.
It's great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And this has been Brew TV.